Get ready for an explosive return to the world of Westeros as fire and blood is almost upon us. This summer, House of the Dragon makes its triumphant return with its second season. Now that King Viserys has passed away, nothing is stopping his daughter, Queen Rhaenyra, and his wife and son, Queen Alicent and King Aegon II, from staking their claims on the Iron Throne, leaving the stage set for a clash of titans. Allies are being summoned, armies are being raised, and dragons are taking flight as the drums of war pound across Westeros. But while the Dance of the Dragons will kick off this year, the seeds of this conflict were sown throughout the last season. In today's Fantasy Archive, we have to step back and examine the plot lines and story elements introduced in Season 1 so you know what to expect this summer when the Civil War begins. Though Aegon might be the one sitting on the Iron Throne, it is clear that the real power pulling the strings in the Green faction is Queen Alicent Hightower, the wife of the late King Viserys and stepmother of Queen Rhaenyra, the leader of the Blacks. Although now enemies, the first season revealed they were once best friends. That relationship became more strained when Alicent, under pressure from her father, Hand of King Otto Hightower, married King Viserys, making her Rhaenyra's stepmother. Not only does this change the dynamic of their relationship, but it also puts Rhaenyra's position as heir to the Iron Throne in peril when Alicent provides Viserys with two sons, Aegon and Aemond. Alicent would meanwhile grow more distrustful of her friend/stepdaughter when she learns about her secret relationship with Criston Cole. She would question Rhaenyra's commitment to the crown and further sow discord between the two, a problem that would carry over to their kids. One of the biggest sticking points of Rhaenyra's claim to the throne is not just her gender, but also the legitimacy of her children. Although both she and Sir Laenor claim 3 of her kids, none have the iconic Valyrian features of silver hair and purple eyes, leaving everyone wondering not whether they are illegitimate, but who the parents are. In truth, all 3 of them are bastards from Rhaenyra's secret relationship with Sir Harwin Strong, with Sir Laenor claiming them as his sons. The only thing that stopped anyone from actively challenging this claim was King Viserys' influence. With him gone though, this issue will come up in the second season. Alicent wasn't the only strained relationship Rhaenyra had. One of the major storylines seen through House of Dragons' first season was the relationship between Rhaenyra and her former protector Sir Criston Cole. Rhaenyra took a special interest in the young knight early on when she elevated him from a minor family to a member of the King's Guard. This interest eventually turned into attraction as the two would enter a secret relationship, violating Criston's King's Guard vows. As this relationship grew more serious, Criston would suggest that Rhaenyra abandon her claim to the Iron Throne and run away with him. When his queen refused him and married Laenor, Criston would go from Rhaenyra's lover to her foe. Criston went over to Queen Alicent, revealing everything about the relationship and acting as her sworn shield. While his relationship with Rhaenyra is over, that doesn't mean Sir Criston doesn't have a role to play in the coming season. As one of Alicent's best knights, Criston would lead the charge during the Dance of the Dragons. The Dance of the Dragons is not just a family quarrel between the Targaryens, but a continental civil war that will tear the Seven Kingdoms in two. Both the Greens and Blacks need allies, and they will turn their attention to the other houses of the Seven Kingdoms. We already saw signs of division in the previous season when both sides courted House Baratheon, though the alliances did not stop there. Before she became Queen Alicent Targaryen, she was Alicent Hightower, a member of one of the oldest and most powerful houses in the Reach. Such a position will allow them to call upon the strength of Houses Hightower and Tyrell in the coming conflict. Meanwhile, Rhaenyra's and Daemon's ties to the House Valyrian mean that they can expect the backing of the largest naval power in the Seven Kingdoms. Aside from these powers, noble families big and small will pick a side out of loyalty, fear, or self-gain. The line in the sand is not as neat as we expected. We've already seen this war divide families. We already saw bits of this conflict when Larys Strong's murder of his father and brother in support of Alicent. Even the Kingsguard is not immune to the conflict, as twin brothers Eric and Arik Cargyle have opted to serve different factions. Whatever their reason for fighting, you can expect more of this in House of Dragons Season 2, as everyone must choose a side. There is no question that the Targaryen power rests on the wings and fire of their dragons. These mighty creatures can destroy armies, burn castles to the ground, and frighten even the most powerful lords. You can bet that the Greens and Blacks are working to get as many dragons in the air as possible. While we've seen quite a few dragons already, House of Dragon Season 2 is expected to introduce several new, unclaimed dragons who can change the situation completely. With the legendary Vhagar being ridden by Prince Aemond for the Greens, the only way Rhaenyra can even the odds is by gathering more of these powerful creatures. This means having to either reclaim riderless dragons like Sea Smoke or take a huge risk and try to tame wild dragons like the ferocious Cannibal. Although the war hasn't started yet, the Dance of the Dragons already claimed its first casualties, including Queen Rhaenyra's son, Lucerys. In one of the most shocking scenes of the season, we saw the unfortunate demise of Lucerys Velaryon. Like his brothers, Lucerys had a fierce rivalry with Queen Alicent's second son, Prince Aemond Targaryen. The Velaryon brothers' fierce rivalry with him had escalated throughout the first season, going from cruel pranks to vicious beatings. The boiling point came when Lucerys slashed out Aemond's eye with a dagger after he had claimed the dragon Vhagar. Though Aemond would boast about trading an eye for a dragon, our favorite one-eyed prince never let go of this grudge. During an encounter at Storm's End, while negotiating with House Baratheon, Aemond confronted Lucerys and chased him into a storm. Although only attempting to scare Lucerys, the chase ended in tragedy when Vhagar devoured both Arrax and Lucerys whole. The grim incident not only marked Aemond as a kingslayer, but also shattered any hopes of a peaceful resolution to the succession crisis. With Rhaenyra now committed to protecting her remaining sons, the Dance of the Dragons takes a darker turn, setting the stage for a conflict that will echo through the pages of Westerosi history. Fans of the original Game of Thrones will instantly recognize this line. Just as that prophecy shaped the conflict and plot of the original series, we see history repeating itself here in House of the Dragon. In the show's pilot episode, King Viserys reveals Aegon the Conqueror's prophetic vision to Rhaenyra to emphasize the importance of ruling. This dream was of a mysterious threat coming from the north, one that only a child of ice and fire can stop. That vision motivated his conquest and played a role throughout Targaryen's history, and the Dance of the Dragons was no different. The prince who was promised is brought up again later in the season. As Viserys is about to pass away and is in a drug-addled state, he mentions the prophecy to Alicent, who doesn't understand. The only line that does make sense to her is Aegon must be king. Unfortunately, what she doesn't realize is that Viserys is referring to Aegon the Conqueror, but Alicent instead interprets this as Viserys designating her son, Aegon, to the heir to the Iron Throne. This misunderstanding convinces her and the Greens to press their claim onto the throne, bringing about the start of the Dance of the Dragons.